Hi, I'm Ippoliti and welcome to Glow. This practice is intended for those of you with perimenopause stuff going on in your body, or anybody who's having mood swings or hormonal stuff going on. It's also going to be beneficial. The props that we're going to use to lay on, 4 or 5 blankets if you have, will be really helpful. I actually have one that's down like a bed just to make this extra soft, but if you have a carpeted surface, that's one less blanket you'll need. We also need a strap, a yoga strap, and a bolster, which can also be made from rolling up a couple of blankets into like a cylinder, and even stuffing it into a pillowcase, and you can make your own makeshift bolster. So the first pose that we're going to do involves making some sort of bolster, and so we'll place that bolster at the end of our mat, like so. I also forgot, I'm looking at it here, but we also have a towel to cover our eyes just to make some darkness. If you have an eye pillow, that will be great as well. So as I said, we're going to put the bolster at the end of the mat like so. And then we're going to have our strap nearby. We're going to take 2 different blankets here and fold them into a shape similar to that, okay? And place that at an angle, getting it ready on either side. That is going to hold up our elbows and arms. Once we lay back, we'll take the other blanket and get that ready to go, and we can shift it around to sort of hold our elbows in a good way. Then this other blanket is optional, but what we'll do is open it up to a shape about like so, and then you're going to fold that blanket like an accordion. So I'm going to pick up the first 6 inches or so, fold it back onto the next. Then I'll pinch it again at that point right there, and I'll just fold that edge underneath. So it's like an accordion. We're going to take the fringed edge and place it on the bolster like so. And we'll be working with that little edge in a moment. Okay. And now, this last blanket, okay, we are going to make a shape like this, and we're going to create a skinny roll. So, long-wise, we're going to roll this guy up. And have it ready to go on this end of the mat near your feet. Okay. So make sure everything's nice and neat. And then we're going to get our strap, okay? And we're going to put the soles of our feet together. Okay, and we're going to take this strap and wrap it around our sacrum. You want to go lower than you think on the buttock, almost close to the ground, not too high up, but closer to the ground. And you're going to take the strap over the tops of your thighs, and then you'll bring the buckle side, depending if you're a righty or a lefty, you're going to bring the buckle side underneath both of the feet, and then you'll tie this end. You might have a different kind of strap than I do, but you're essentially making a loop. Okay? And we'll go, I have a D ring, so you go through. Okay, and then I'm going to tighten it up. So that might bring my feet a little bit closer. So if you don't have full flexion in your knee, don't worry about it. Just take it to a comfortable distance. And what's nice is that the buckle is right near my thigh, so I can always reach down and loosen it or adjust it as I go. Okay, and once I feel pretty supported there, I'm actually going to take this skinny roll, lift up my knees, place the roll above my feet, right near my ankles, tuck it back underneath the thighs so that my knees are totally supported as well. Already I'm feeling pretty good here. All right, and then I'm going to come back, making sure there's no gap between my sacrum and the back of the bolster, and I'm going to lay back, and then we're going to take our hands underneath the blanket push up so that the blanket's cradling the back of your neck. Then lift your chin to just rest the back of your head and feel that nice cradling right there. Last but not least, we're going to take our eye cover. Maybe it's an eye pillow for you, a towel will do, even a sock is fine. And we're going to place that over our eyes so we have some darkness. And then we'll bring our arms face up with our elbows and forearms totally supported by the blanket. So just make sure you don't feel any part of your hand or arm on the floor. And just remember, you can always pause the video to get this set up nice and complete for yourself and then start again. Then just let yourself settle into the pose. And at first you might feel that the pose it feels almost like an imposition, like this bolster and blanket is pushing up into your body, but eventually you'll feel as though it's part of your body. This is going to open the pelvis and anchor the femur bones down, giving you a nice sense of grounding and chest opening. So start to settle in more and more. And we'll be here for a few minutes. Gently deepen the breath. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. And just reach down to where the strap is to start to loosen the strap around the legs. And then if you need to, remove the eye cover to really get the job done, to get yourself extricated from the strap. Slowly come up to sitting. And then once you've gotten the strap off, you can take the skinny roll that we have and actually leave it in that form because we're going to use it in our next pose. And then we'll just put the strap aside, and we're going to move the blankets aside as well. Okay. And then we're going to take the bolster and actually turn it wide ways on the mat rather than the same direction, like so. And just make sure that you have, it's pretty much in the middle part of your mat, but there's enough mat for us to lay back on, because we're gonna go in front of it now. So you're gonna sit on the mat, on the bolster, like so. And I'm just gonna put this skinny roll in a place where I can grab it easily. And as I sit back on it, I'm gonna lay back. I wanna be like right on the edge of the bolster as I sit back. And then just watch that you don't go too fast. And then I'm gonna bring one knee in to my chest and then the other. So it's just basically like a little butt lift. And this blanket here is optional. I also have my eye covering once I get into it. Although I think I'm not going to use the eye cover because we're not going to be here that long, and I want to make sure that everybody is comfortable in this pose. So you're going to take your right leg up and then your left leg up. And the knees can be bent unless you're super flexible and they just kind of straighten more easily, but bent is fine. And we're just going to have our palms face up and allow our hips to be supported by the bolster. If you need to scooch it in more, you can kind of swing your legs back and forth to get in a bit more support. And then if you're feeling like you're just not able to relax your legs, that's what the skinny roll is for. And what we'll do is just move our legs forward, place the skinny roll right there as a spacer, and come back. And then it's like, it just happens. You can let your legs bend if it's more comfortable. It's just, you want them to hang. So this can feel like you're floating. It's quite nice. And so we'll just stay here for a few minutes. And it's okay if you have to shift around a little bit, that's fine. Just find what's comfortable for you. The other thing too is if your bolster doesn't feel supportive enough, or if it feels like it's sinking and you don't have enough lift in the bum, you can also place a blanket to give it a little bit of elevation. And then gently bend one knee and then the other. Just pause right here. You can cross the ankles. Big breath in and let it all out. And then start by removing the skinny roll and just placing it over to your side. And then you're going to push the bolster forward so that you can come all the way down. And then roll over to your right side, come up sitting, and notice what shifts in your body have occurred from resting deeply. Palms together in front of the heart. Namaste.